Good morning. I've been hibernating all weekend, so the sun is really bright out today. Anyway, okay, this is Terry Allen, real progressive, not a Pinot. Oh boy. So many weird things about this election. First of all, we are in the most dangerous moment of this period, because the oligarchy and the deep state are up against the ropes, and there's a good chance that we can take them down. And several reasons. Kash Patel as the FBI director, that would be amazing. That would be so good, because he is a pit bull, and he was one of the ones with him and Devin Nunes that uncovered the Russia hoax and discovered that it was actually Hillary Clinton and her campaign that actually did it and paid for it. That was admitted in court. Of course, nothing will ever happen to them. You know, Christopher Wray of the FBI constantly evades questions. Oh, that's an ongoing investigation. We can't disclose our information. All of this crap. Okay, first of all, when the Democratic Party has the autopsy of what they did wrong, they always seem to come back to racism and misogyny. How untouched, how out of touch can these people be? It's so ridiculous. They think that the only reason that we voted for Trump is because we didn't want a woman in there. Now, what it would be is that we didn't want that woman in. If Tulsi Gabbard had run, I would have voted for her in a heartbeat, because she has policies that are 100 times better than anything that Kamala Harris could come up with. We've already seen the destruction in her wake. We don't want any more of that. And the American people resoundingly said, we do not want this crazy woke ideology, this crazy, what is the definition of a woman? Well, I don't know. It could be anything, pretty much. You know, the chopping off of body parts of children, this gender affirmation. The economy is horrible. These people don't know how to run an economy. The wars, now they're escalating. The Ukraine war against Russia, they're escalating to possibly bring us to World War III. Knowing that Trump and Putin and Zelensky have already agreed to a ceasefire and a peace treaty, once Trump gets in, and they are escalating, allowing Zelensky and the Ukrainian military to launch our weapons, our long-range missiles into 300 or 400 miles into the territory of Russia. This is madness. These people are insane. What are they trying to achieve? I think this is part of the deep state. You've got the neocons, which are running this operation, which started the whole thing in 2014 when their neocon witch, Victoria Nuland, went in and helped orchestrate the overthrow of the government, the elected president of Ukraine, which was friendly to Russia, because they wanted to make Ukraine part of NATO. And I posted a video on X from Jeffrey Sachs, and he explained exactly what happened and why it happened and how it happened. And he's absolutely correct. So the neocons want Russia and China on their knees so that they can run the world. This globalization bullshit. They want to control the world. They want to do all of these stuff that the WEF wants. That's the oligarchy. The deep state are their towel boys to make it happen. The FBI and their lawfare operations against Trump is a typical FBI operation. That is what they do. They infiltrate organizations and they destroy them from within. FBI has stated that their mission is to maintain this capitalist oligarchy control over the economy and the American people. That is their goal, to maintain the status quo. So, I don't know how to stop this, but when I say we're in the most dangerous moment in history, recent history, is that the FBI and the deep state are going to try to kill Trump before he's inaugurated. Mark my words. These people are up against the wall. This is an existential threat to their power. Trump and the dream team and the people that he's putting in place in these different organizations, in these different government agencies like the CIA and the FBI, National Security, having Tulsi Gabbard in charge of that, having RFK in charge of the CDC and the NIH. These are major shifts in American policy. This is what the American people want, a majority of them. The others that don't want it are brainwashed by the media. They're talking about Trump is a Nazi. They're still spouting this bullshit. Okay, well, Mika and Joe Brzezinski went down to Mar-a-Lago to meet with Trump, to kiss his ring, I guess they are complaining about. Well, why would you go down and meet with a Nazi? Why would you go down and meet with Hitler? You know, it's all bullshit. It's ridiculous. These people know that he's not a Nazi, and he is going to wreak havoc on the agencies, and that's what we want. We want the deep state killed. We want to take them out, take all the top people out of these agencies, fire them. We're not going to line them up against the wall and shoot them or any of that bullshit. We want to fire them, and if there's any of them that committed treason or election interference, which some of them did, then they need to be either court-martialed or tried. That's a crime, a major crime. So we're not rounding up our political enemies. What we're rounding up is people that committed major crimes, felonies, treason. That's what needs to be rounded up. So that's the scenario. They're going to have to kill them. And who knows who else, you know? All these guys are in grave danger. Kash Patel and Tulsi Gabbard, Elon Musk, they're all in grave danger. And it scares the shit out of me, because if they try to take these guys out, which they're going to do, they can't allow this to happen. They've worked too long for the oligarchy to run everything. They've come too far by controlling the American population and the American opinion. You know, this idiot on MSNBC was saying, well, a lot of American people believe that Trump is a Nazi and authoritarian. Well, why? Because the MSNBC was a propaganda arm for this message, for this narrative, and that's why a lot of the Americans think that. It's because they were pumped full of this bullshit for years. It's absolutely insane. Amazing. It's just amazing. And the problem is that so many Americans just don't know history, and they believe this bullshit. They're just sheep. They believe what MSNBC and CNN say. And Fox is better, but it's not great. So what I'd love to see is Elon Musk buying MSNBC and calling it XNBC or something like that, or turn it over to Alex Jones and make it InfoWars. That would be amazing. I posted a video about that too. There was a logo floating around with the NBC peacock, and then underneath it said InfoWars. And that would be the ultimate comeback. That would be the ultimate slap in the face of the deep state and the oligarchy. I mean, that would show that we have won this war against the oligarchy. We need to dismantle this deep state. Trump promised back in 2016 that he would do it, but he didn't realize how deep and how strong it was. He found out with the lawfare and all these court cases against him, which are all getting thrown out, by the way, because it was all bullshit. So, this is a crossroads. We are at a crossroads of history. We need to call and write to our congressmen and senators, congresswomen and senators, that this World War III cannot be fought, it cannot be won, and Russia is up against the wall. Russia and China are scared shitless of what the United States might do, because we've already declared that the United States has the right to a first strike. Based on what? Based on neocon ideology? Oh my God. Anyway, you need to watch Robert Gouveia. Jimmy Dore's great. The Gray Zone with Max Blumenthal and Aaron Mate. It's great. You've got some really good people on the internet that are really telling the truth. X is a really good platform now. I've been on X for a while, and it's much better than YouTube. YouTube is good for watching videos and documentaries and a lot of stuff like that. But X is great because I've already got almost 800 subscribers, followers, I guess you could say, and only being on X for 2 months. So I'm not being shadow banned like I have been on YouTube. Rumble is okay, but it's not really a source to go to if you want to watch videos, because they just don't have enough stuff posted. So that's what we need to do. Contact your senators and your Congress people. You know, let's be politically correct here just a little bit longer. And make sure that Trump and the Dream Team have the protection that they need to keep them from getting assassinated. You got the Secret Service and the FBI are the ones that ran the last 2 assassination attempts. The American people could see that. Anybody with a brain and eyes to see and ears to hear know that J6 was an inside job designed specifically to demonize Trump and to demonize and turn into domestic terrorists, the MAGA movement. That's why they did it. These guys work on a long-term plan. These are long-term plans that they put into place. But we know it. The American people, a majority of the American people knew that this was bullshit. And the MSNBC is going, how can anybody vote for a convicted felon and a neo-Nazi over Kamala Harris? They don't understand. When you rich scumbags that live in your little bubbles at your little liberal cocktail parties and your dinner parties, you all get together and cry and weep over this election, but you don't get it. We don't give a shit about your woke ideology and your bullshit, and your inclusiveness and your, oh my God, all this bullshit. It's just staggering. And the people that are for it are just weak, brainwashed fools, because they don't know history and they don't follow don't follow the daily news that you're not going to get on, obviously, on the corporate media, propaganda wing of the deep state and oligarchy. They follow this garbage. They don't keep up to, current events and all of the stuff that's going on with the trials. Robert Gouveia is great because he really makes it crystal clear what is going on with these trials. He keeps up on every one of them. And I've learned a lot from him about what's really going on and why and how and what these people are up to. There's a lot of others that you can watch. Anna Kasparian, I mean, I'm actually surprised she's finally coming around. She realized that the Democratic Party is just full of shit. They're useless towel boys, okay? Useless for the oligarchy and the deep state. And even Cenk Uygur is finally realizing, well, I guess MAGA's not really our enemy, I mean, oh my God. See, the problem is these guys have such egg on their faces that to admit that they were wrong is just almost impossible for them because their egos and their narcissistic ways of living just can't allow them to admit that they were wrong. So here's where we're at. The next 2 months are going to be scary. And so Trump and the Dream Team need to stay in the bunker right now. They don't have to campaign. They don't have to get out there. They need to design the government the way it's going to be in the future. We need to get some hard asses in there and clean this rat's nest out. I love what Kash Patel said. He's going to close the FBI building and fire everybody and then reopen it as a museum to the deep state. That's great. And you got these assholes on MSNBC go, there's no such thing as a deep state. What are you talking about? Oh my God. When you have people like Christopher Wray and the CIA director before Congress that won't answer any questions because, this is an ongoing investigation or this is classified information. That's the deep state. These are the people that don't listen to Congress. They run things the way they want to, and they don't have to listen or do anything that the Congress and the Senate and the executive branch tell them to do. The Federal Reserve is part of that. The IRS is part of that. It's the deep state and the oligarchy have put in place on the top level of all these agencies, they're towel boys. So that's what you've got, and we've got to clean it out. We've got to clean it out. So anyway, that's the situation. I'm going to have to go. But can you guys please follow and subscribe to my stuff? I've got really good sources. I've got great sources. You've got different people like Kim. Oh God, I forgot what her name was. Kim Iverson. Sorry, Kim. Scott Ritter, he's really good. Jeffrey Sachs is really good. Chris Hedges, I don't know. He's I don't know what happened to him. I watched one of his videos and he's still weeping about the Christian fascists. And, Christian fundies. I was raised as a Christian fundie, so I know that they're really locked into this Israel bullshit. Because they think that if Israel can start Armageddon, oh God, Jesus is coming back. Yes! And I don't have to pay my mortgage anymore. I get a mansion in the sky. And it's free! These people are nuts. They really, really are. If you only sit down and read the Bible, you're going to be the most uninformed idiot around. Because the Bible was written by very superstitious people. They were educated, but they were not really understanding what was going on. The Hebrews, when they were conquered by Babylon and the Persians, a lot of their history came from those entities, the gods of Babylonians and the Persians, specifically Zoroastrianism from Persia. That's where you get the Hebrew Torah and all the other bullshit. It's from that. It's all just, they just changed the names to protect the guilty. That's all they did. All of the Noah stories, is Atrahasis, Moses, all these stories are all bullshit, okay? Now, there was a flood. There was a great flood. I agree with that. It was about 12,000 years ago. There's evidence to prove that, and I'll go into that on another video. But anyway, I've got to go. Please subscribe or follow me on X, okay? Because I'm getting at some information that a lot of people just don't have, okay? And I'm going to try and do my studio eventually, but I just got to do car rants from now on. So anyway, all right, you guys, take it easy, and I'm going to try and talk to you tomorrow, okay? Take care. All right, see you guys. Bye.